Good morning and welcome to the ARDMS SPI review, Class 1, Week 1. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Mrs. Sheikh, and I have been teaching ultrasound physics for the past 6 years. This is the name of my website, www.ultrasoundphysicstutor.com, and this is my contact information. 99% of my students have passed the SPI ARDMS test on their first attempt. So let's get started. We're going to cover the topics in part 1, the math overview, proportionality, scientific notations, and later on we're going to cover pulse echo technique, range equation, and some important concepts. Let's talk about proportionality. What is directly proportional? An increase in one variable or change in percentage of one variable results in a same increase or increase in percentage of the related variable, or a decrease in one variable results in the decrease in the related variable. Luckily for us, in our ARDMS exam, we do not have a lot of math questions, but you will be after you finish my review course, I will be giving you about 50-60 formulas. Those are the formulas, mostly they ask the questions over them, and then even we don't have a lot of time. We just have 1 minute per question basically, so they will not give us lengthy calculations. What they'll give us is how the variables are related to one another. So for that, directly and indirectly related is very, very important. So let's talk in more detail about directly related and indirectly related. Directly proportional, we said a change in variable results in the same change of the related variable. So let's go over here. So here A is equal to B times C. So whatever we do to B, the same thing will happen to A. Whatever we do to C, the same thing will happen to C. So if we increase B 2 times, A will also increase 2 times. In the same way, if we decrease C by half or 1/4, A will also decrease by 1/4. So whatever you do to this variable, the same thing will happen to this related variable, or they are directly related. Now let's go to the indirectly related. What is indirectly related? Whatever we do to one variable, the opposite will happen to that variable. So that thing has to be in the denominator. So if we increase C 2 times, we can also write 2 over 1 is the same thing. You just flip the numbers, so A will become 1/2. So A and C are indirectly related. Another way to look at it, let's draw a line straight across. So anything that is above this line is directly related. Anything that's below the line is indirectly related. Now let's do one more example before we move on. Now what happens if we make A 1/4? If we make 1/4, we will just flip the numbers, so A will become 4 times. So this concept is very, very important. If you do not understand this concept, please email me or text me, so I will explain to you in more detail. Now let's go to indirectly proportional. Like we said, an increase in one variable results in the decrease in the other variable, and vice versa, or increase in percentage of one variable results in the decrease in percentage of that variable. So here A and C are indirectly related. Now let's talk about scientific notations. Scientific notations are shorthand methods of writing very large numbers. The rule is shift the decimal so that the resulting number is no less than 1 and less than 10. Multiply by the appropriate power of 10. So for example, over here we have this is 300. How would you write it in scientific notations? So here we are going to put the decimal between 3 and 0 and then count the number of zeros. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to put 3.0 into 10 to the power of 5. Over here again we're going to put the decimal between 2 and 4, and we're going to write 2.4567, and then we're going to count the numbers. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to put 2.4567 into 10 to the power of 4. Now this number is an extremely small number, so we're going to put the decimal between 5 and 6 and then write down the number 5.678 and then go backwards, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will be 10 to the power of negative 6. Since we're going to the left hand side, we're going to put 10 to the power of negative 6. Now let's do some practice questions here. What is the number over here? The first question, so it's between we're going to put the decimal between 3 and 4, and then we're going to write down 3.4567, and let's start counting. Don't forget to count the number right next to the decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to put the question as 10 to the power of 4. Here again, this is a very small number. We're going to put the decimal between 8 and 9. It will be 8.9, and we're going to go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to put the 10 to the power of 4. Here, how do we solve this? So remember, we have to go back 3 places since this is negative. So we're going to move the decimal 1, 2, 3. So we're going to put 2 zeros over here. So it's going to be 0.0034. Now here, 10 to the power of 4, so it's positive. We're going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to put 3 zeros after that. So it's 99,000 is the answer.